Welcome! It is Earth Day. Yay! Earth Day! We all love the planet! Woo! And that means we get a nice little video of a tree. Because I like trees, and we're killing all of them. Anyways, I decided that I just kind of started making this, but it ended up being Earth Day right around the corner, so I decided to make this video for Earth Day. It was not originally supposed to be for Earth Day, so that's why this video is a little bit rushed, but hopefully it works.
I started out with what will probably end up being my favorite base material once I get a few more, one of those cheesy signs from Hobby Lobby. I also got some good old floral wire, and I ended up buying a lot more than I needed, so now I have 2 extra trees. Put in the comments what you think I should do with them, by the way. Before I made my tree, I needed to get some foam in this frame. This was a pain, because I decided to place the foam in the frame, not on top of it. I had to cut to fit inside, which is really hard to trace. To do this, I ended up taping a toothpick to each of the inside corners of the frame, and then I pressed the frame into the foam, making some indents where the corners are. Now, all it took to make a base that would fit was cutting a straight line in the foam, and boom. Now I have a foam rectangle.
Now we get into something that's become almost addicting to make. Trees! I love making them. I'm following a tutorial by Geordi Crafts. I'm probably butchering that name horribly, and I apologize if I am. I'll do my best to explain what is going on as I do it, but if you would like to have a better tutorial, there will be a link in the description to her video, so that way you can watch a much better tutorial to learn how to make this.
This is just some plain floral wire I got from Hobby Lobby. You'll end up learning as you watch the channel that I really like Hobby Lobby. They have a lot of nice stuff, though I'm not necessarily the happiest with the people who run it. Moving on, here is a really basic description of how to make this tree. Split the wire into 5 groups of varying amounts, then you're going to bend a few inches from the bottom of each. Once that's finished, use 2 different wires in each bunch to wrap a few inches up the main part and the bent section. Then you're just going to wrap the wire into a tree. I decided to put a knot in my tree because it looks more interesting that way. Then I coated the entire tree in hot glue.
I cannot express at all how much time this took. I planned on my build only taking about a day. It's relatively small, pretty simple. It did not take a day. I'm not even done with it. I'm filming this on a green screen right now. I haven't even finished the build. This singular step took nearly a day to finish. What the heck?
Once all the glue was cooled, it was time to add some bark texture. This took most of the second day of this build, but not nearly as long as the hot glue did. Once the tree was finished, it was onto the base. The base was pretty simple. I just carved some channels for the roots, then glued it in place with a whole lot of hot glue. Mild lure dump time, so this tree is really big, as you shall see in a bit, but for now, instead of adding grass with a static grass applicator, I just added some flocking. Again, this is a really big tree, so the flocking was about the right size for the grass. To further show how big this tree is, I wanted to make a bench using some copper wire, some super glue, and some matches.
I should have said it when I got out the wood burner, but whenever you are working with hot materials or tools, be very careful. Fire is dangerous. Don't burn yourself.
Time to put the bench in the foam. Crap. Well, that sucks. For the final touch, I added a sand trail, and then it was time to prime, and onto the short story. Tree was her grandfather's favorite spot. He used to sit with it for hours at a time, watching it, talking with it. He would tell her it was special, that it had seen things no one else would, that it had lived years we couldn't even dream of. She was here for the first time in 3 months. It hurt too much. She'd avoided it since she was handed the urn. She had known her grandfather better than anyone. Even her parents didn't know the stories he had told her. He said the tree held special memories, that each branch told a new story, a new life held within each leaf. However, since she spread her grandfather's ashes at its roots, she hadn't seen a single new leaf. In fact, she couldn't see any leaves anymore. Not since he died. Her grandfather told her this tree had lived longer than any other, that it had lived through thousands of origin cycles, but now, it was dying. Just like its watcher. So much for watching this video. Whilst it didn't necessarily take a while, was a lot of fun to make. It's not necessarily my favorite final build, but the process has been one of my favorites. Thank you all for watching. If you want to see more, please check out the rest of the channel, and if you like what you see, press the subscribe, and if you liked this video, please hit the like, and I will see you in the next installment of System 238.